Hi, I'm Clovis, and today I'll show you how to use the AI timeline template in Effect Maker to create fully customizable visual transformations. With the AI timeline template, you can turn a single photo into a sequence of transformations, like different stages of life, style changes, or even progressions like skill, lifestyle, or mood. Instead of generating just one fixed result, the effect is built with multiple prompts, and each option in the timeline represents a different transformation. Alright, so let's take a look on how the template works. On the Effect Maker homepage, browse through the effect templates and find the AI timeline. Click on it and a new project will be created. I'll resize the preview window here so we can better see what's going on. So basically the user taps record to start the effect. Then they can tap that to stop at a specific point in the timeline or just let it stop automatically, which is pretty fun. And depending on where it stops, a different point in the timeline is selected. So there is also a restart button, so the user can try again without having to restart the whole effect. So as you can see, the effect is pretty cool, but templates are meant to be customized, right? So let's change this into something completely different to add in your own creativity. Instead of using years, let's turn this into a temperature progression going from frozen to hot. Okay, so that means each steps will represent a different level, like frozen, cold, mild, warm, and hot. Now the first thing we are going to do is update the UI so it matches this new idea. Let's start by changing the timeline labels. In the Objects panel, select the text that says 1986, and instead of year, let's use something that fits our new concept. So how about a nice cube emoji here? Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice here. And let's do the same for the other side. Select 2026 and replace it with a fire emoji. Nice. So now we can also adjust the font size to make them more visible. And finally, let's tweak the position a bit so everything feels more balanced in the layout. Just move the text slightly down until it looks good. Yeah, that looks much better. Now let's move on the prompts and update them to match our new idea. First, go to the Assets tab. And here, you'll find all the assets used in the template, including the prompts you can edit. You can find them inside this folder. When you click on a prompt, a properties panel will open on the side with customization options. Okay? And now notice that this template is using the new transformation type called Precise, which is powered by Nano Banana. This type is designed to create much more realistic images while making sure the person still looks like themselves, even when applying different styles. Keep in mind that the types behave differently. For example, Precise works well for realistic results, while Fast type is better suited for more stylizing and non-photoreal outputs. So in this case, Precise is the best choice for us. Now let's start updating each prompt. Nano Banana can handle both image edits and full transformations. If you choose to edit, your prompt will add or remove elements from the existing image. For example, add a disco ball and party lights. When choosing to create a transformation, your prompt will keep the look of the user while generating a new scene. For example, the user is wearing an astronaut suit while floating in space. Just make sure to be specific with your prompts. Vague or negative descriptions can lead to inconsistent results, okay? So first, let's rename this one. Just double click on the prompt and let's rename it to hot. Now, let's delete the current description and create a new one. Before writing it, it's very important to be very clear with your description, especially since we're separating different climate states. So for this hot step, I'm going to exaggerate a bit and really push the feeling of intense heat. Okay, so that should be enough to get the kind of result you're looking for. Now we can use a really useful feature in Effect Maker to preview the AI output across different scenes and people. Let's just click on Preview AI Image button and wait for the results. Whoa, I really like this result. If there are any issues with the generation, they will show up here. And it's important to fix them before submitting because any unresolved errors will cause the effect to be rejected during review. Now let's go back to the project. Another cool way to customize our effect is through the art style. Right now, this template is using the school portrait style, which works actually pretty well for the timeline concept like this, but for our idea, we can switch it up, okay? And I will go into the list of art styles and choose this one from description. This one works really well when your prompt is already defining the visual direction, which is exactly what we're doing here. So let's preview it again. Yeah, this looks great. So you can try a few options and see what works best for your idea, okay? Now I'm going to repeat the same process for all the remaining prompts, updating the descriptions, renaming them, and keeping the art style consistent across all of them. Right, after updating the prompts, let's test the effect again. The effect looks like it's working, but there are still a few small adjustments we can make to better match our idea. You might notice there is still a text element on the screen, and this is a text object controlled dynamically by the visual script. In the original template, this text showed the year of each step in the timeline, but since we changed the concept, we need to update this as well, okay? To change this, it's actually pretty simple. This text is defined by a variable, more specifically a list of text values. To access the project variables, click on the X icon here. You will find a whole set of variables you can tweak, which is great if you want to customize the template even further, but for now, let's focus on what we need. Look for the variable called yearslist here, and click on the edit icon. So let's rename it just for better organization, okay? So I'll call it temperature list. Now we just need to update the values to match our new concept, so let's do it. To close the variables panel, just click the X again. Now, let's also update the font of this text. First, go to the Objects panel and select this text object. This one is controlled dynamically, so I'm just going to enable it temporarily so we can see it on the screen. Let's also rename it from year to something like climate, just to keep things consistent. In the text settings, we can also change the font. So right now, the project is using this font, but we can try something different. I will switch to this one, Bungie. We can also adjust other properties here, like alignment and positioning. For example, I will center the text so it looks more balanced. Once that's done, we can disable it again since it will be activated dynamically later through the Visual script. Now let's test this one more time just to make sure everything is working properly. Perfect, everything working as expected, and now we have the effect ready to go. Now that everything is ready, let's submit the effect. To do that, just click the Submit button here. First, upload a thumbnail. And I recommend using a square image and make sure the file size stays below 2 megabytes. Then click Continue and add a title for your effect. You can also include a description if you want, and this part is optional. And once everything looks good, just click Submit to send your effect for review. That's it, now you have a customized AI timeline effect working with your own concept. From here, you can experiment with different prompts, art styles, and structures to bring your ideas to life. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates, tutorials, and new Effect Maker features. Bye!